Oh shit! Actual goosebumps. Hold on. Holy.
Yikes!
Holy.
Yikes!
What?
Each new
That's
Yikes.
crazy.
and 5, we really wanted to introduce a new form.
They bring to Overwatch.
On February
Holy shit! This season is stacked.
Outer lobby.
Oh.
Global nav.
Damn.
What are we looking at?
Holy.
Yikes!
Okay, so clearly I wasn't ready for Jetpack Cat or the fact that they've just dropped the 2 from Overwatch. We're going to be Overwatch again. But I've had some time, my heart rate is settled. Let's get into what just announced today because it is huge. Okay, so let's start with the big news. They're officially dropping the 2 and will be moving forward as just Overwatch. 2026 begins a new narrative telling a story from beginning to end that will last the entirety of the year across 6 seasons, until we get to next year where we will start a new story arc that will continue starting again at Season 1. This will be represented in-game by in-game events, animated hero trailers, short stories and cinematics, and in-game comics. All of these are going to be available to view within the in-game narrative viewer. The next bombshell Aaron dropped on us is that the first year they're going to be releasing 10 heroes throughout the entire year, with 5 of them launching in the first season in February 10th. We will also be receiving 2 new core maps to the game, together driving the massive story arcs throughout the year. Okay, so let's dive into these 5 new heroes. So we're getting a new poke tank called Damana, which is the first since Sigma. Her primary fire is a magnum pistol that has a charge up beam, which is actually the longest beam in the game currently, and it releases a blast after it's been charged. Her ability is that she has a shield that wraps around in a semicircle and has 27 segments that can each be shot out individually. Her crystal charge ability does damage over time while simultaneously charging her shield, and her sonic repulsors provide a knockback little boop that can be slammed into walls. Her ultimate Panopticon traps enemies in little orbs that block all damage and healing, and when it erupts, it does explosion damage to the hero. Next up we have our new DPS M-Ray. Some of you may remember him teased since before Overwatch even launched back in 2016. His primary fire is a rifle that fires in 3-round bursts and can be ADS'd. The unique thing about him is when he's ADS'd, he doesn't lose any movement speed. His first ability is the Siphon Blaster, which is a sidearm with explosive damage that does lifesteal. It also boosts movement speed and jump height. His next ability is Cyberfrag, which is basically a grenade that can bounce off walls and do chip damage. And his ultimate Override Protocol levitates him up to the air and he gets to choose to shoot singular blasts or one massive blast that does a lot more damage. The larger blast has a bigger cooldown, the single shot you can continuously fire. Next hero being released is one of the new supports, Mizuki. Mizuki has a healing aura constantly around him, similar to Lucio. He builds up how much healing that does by doing damage to enemies or by healing allies. His primary fire is Spirit Glaive, which can be thrown and bounced off walls. His ability Healing Casa basically throws his hat at a teammate, you throw it at a teammate, and it will bounce to 2 nearby teammates. And he has a movement ability called Kadishiro Return, where it gives him a boost of speed and he gets to teleport back to his original position. Think Sombra Translocator. His Binding Chain is a projectile. When an enemy is hit, it'll bind them to the ground, pulling flyers down as well. His ultimate Kakai Sanctuary places down a circular field where allies are healed within the circle and it blocks all incoming damage. And the next DPS getting added to the roster is Anran, Wu Yang's sister. Her primary fire throws 2 daggers, which build up her burning passive. Basically, it builds up a meter, and then after that meter is filled, they catch fire, start burning, which leads into her right-click Fan the Flames. Basically, throws a burst of air, which ignites the flames and does extra burn damage. She has a directional movement ability called Inferno Rush. It's a fiery dash that can be done upwards. It causes burn damage and knockback. Her next ability, Dancing Blaze, sees her bouncing between enemies dealing damage amongst anyone within range. This can also be used to block abilities and ultimates. Speaking of ultimates, Anran's ultimate has 2 versions. Vermilion Ascent will see her rise up into the air before crashing down in a fiery explosion with enemies, and Vermilion Revival, if she dies while her ultimate is charged, she can use it to revive in a fiery explosion. They also announced that Anran is available for a 5-day hero trial. And that brings us to the last hero coming out in Season 1.
The cat.
Jetpack Cat brings a lot of new interesting abilities to Overwatch. Her lifeline ability gives allies the opportunity to be attached by a line where Jetpack Cat can then fly them through the air, releasing them at any moment. While her ultimate will see her doing a massive body slam where the nearest enemy gets tethered and you can pull them wherever you would like to. They also announced that we no longer just have tank, damage and support. Each role is split into its own sub-roles, each with their own passives. DPS role is split into Recon, Flanker, Specialist, and Sharpshooter. The Recon sub-role will give DPS the abilities to see enemies that they have damaged and put below half health through walls. The Flanker sub-role restores more health from health packs. The Specialist sub-role increases reload speed when eliminating an enemy. And the Sharpshooter sub-role reduces mobility ability cooldowns when scoring critical shots. For support, they are split into Survivor, Medic, and Tactician. For the Survivor sub-role, using a movement ability activates passive health regeneration. For the Medic sub-role, healing allies with your weapon also heals you. And for the Tactician sub-role, you get to store an extra 25% of ultimate when yours is already charged. And for the tank roles, you are split into Initiator, Bruiser, and Stalwart. For the Initiator sub-role, staying airborne lightly heals you. For the Bruiser sub-role, reduced critical damage received, and also while at critical health, you gain movement speed. And for Stalwart, reduced knockbacks and slows received. Moving into UI and systems of the game, they announced they're going to be having weekly events where you fight for a side and get rewarded for it. The way it'll work is each week you pick a side and complete the missions that tie directly to the lore. They also showed off a bunch of concept skins that could be used in the Battle Pass or future updates. They also announced that all the shop skins from the last 6 seasons are now added to the loot boxes, including Doki Watch. We're also getting a new Overwatch esports loot box. For the mythic skins for the season, they're kicking off with a Mercy mythic skin, alongside a Juno weapon mythic skin. And for the mid-season, Mei will be getting her own mythic skin. They also announced a new collab with Hello Kitty, bringing us brand new skins for Mercy, Widow, Diva, Kiri, Juno, and Lucio. Sorry Ramatra, maybe next time. They also announced a massive UI overhaul of the entire game, including the social panel, notification panel, hero gallery, everything. The entire UI got a massive facelift. And honestly, in my opinion, I think it looks sick. These UI changes also made it into Stadium, making the item selection a little bit easier to read. They showed a new feature for Stadium called the Hero Builder, basically suggesting builds used by some of your friends. It'll also show the most popular builds currently being used. And they heard our feedback. Post-match accolades are finally coming back. A little bit different to the card system, it's going to be 3D models. They showed us some examples of what this might look like in the future. They also teased during this you might be able to look at highlights from the player that got MVP of the match. For ranked, they announced a complete competitive reset at the start of Season 1. They also announced a Crimson Red weapon skin. And if you place higher than Diamond, you can get the Crimson Red Doomfist skin. Finishing up the spotlight, they announced that Overwatch will be coming to Nintendo Switch 2 in Season 2. They also announced that OWCS season will start in March, with the finals being held in China, and the OWWC returning at BlizzCon this year. And finally, they announced that they are doing some massive engine updates that will be happening throughout the year, including customized eye highlights, a new ambient lighting system, and improved cloth and hair physics, or fur physics. The new season starts on February 10th, or for me in Australia here, February 11th. I'm excited as hell for this. I hope you are too. Let me know down in the comments what you think. And don't forget to like it, subscribe. Come follow me on Twitch. I'm sure I'll be playing this a fair bit. And let's have a great 10th year of Overwatch.